What's up, good people? Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Blue Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this ain't working. You know it ain't working without you guys. So I appreciate each and every one of you guys being here and being part of the Joe Blue Sports Report. Back here at the Red Brick House, I guess you can tell because it don't look like my regular man cave, of course. And we're doing some things here to get this place together. I may be sanding the floor and getting this place varnished up here. Of course, when I sand the floor, I won't be able to walk on it for a couple of days, so that'll be a little bit of an issue, of course. But once it's done, oh my goodness, it'll be nice to be able to finally start really setting this place up, so we're not looking at a dusty, dirty, dingy secondary man cave. And we're doing some new things here. I've actually, in my house, been doing some new things with using a tablet and mirroring it to the TV screen, so that way we can do some breakdown and stuff. And we will be doing a lot more of that stuff as I get a little bit better. I still have to figure out how to actually, use the pen as a marker so I can circle and all that stuff. But life is a learning process, and you come up with ideas, you got to learn how to implement them, and that's what I'm trying to do. And you get better the more you do them. And that's what I'm hoping is going to be the case with the Cowboys. Because what's interesting right now is, I've said a couple weeks ago until, I guess about 2 weeks ago, that I was worried that what I was seeing from Dak Prescott, guys get old in football real quick. And I was worried that maybe the injuries and things and the shots and Father Time was catching up with Dak, and maybe this was going to be as good as Dak could be at this point. But the reality is, well, he's still slinging pretty good. And, you think about how we were talking about poor CeeDee Lamb. That CeeDee Lamb wasn't getting the ball thrown, wasn't having the yards in the contract year and things. And that, he was disgruntled. He's already moved up to 5th in yardage right now. 5th. He's moving on up. Same thing with Dak Prescott and his numbers. Dak is at 13 TDs, and that number is growing, 3 last week, 4 the week before. All of a sudden, he should be over 30 by the time, at the current rate, he should be over 30 for the season. And the interceptions are way down. And you look at other guys that, were deemed to be better than him that, don't have the numbers or have a whole lot more interceptions than he has. So we'll see where we are at the end of the year. The thing that bothers me or you worry about, and I've mentioned this before too, the things with the Joneses, I don't know if this is just, people with money. You think people with money would be, very, giving with their money and stuff, but that's not the case. People with money, let me say this, old money, they don't want to give it away, they don't want to use it, they don't want to waste it, they just don't. They hold on to it. That's why they got a whole bunch of money. People who win the lottery or new money, they get crazy with the money and things, They spend it on stupid shit, and they end up losing it. That's why old money is old money, because they don't waste it. And maybe that's the mentality of the Joneses, because they always look for a bargain. When they go in free agency, they look for a bargain. They don't want to pay too much. When they look at trades, although when they trade, they usually give up too much draft compensation, and when they trade somebody, they don't get enough. But be that as it may, the thing that the Cowboys have done that seems to have hurt them, when you look at players right now that aren't performing as good as you would like, the ones that are doing the worst, you have to say Jordan Lewis is struggling, you have to say Terrence Steele is struggling, and you have to say Michael Gallup is struggling. And I think bringing in Martavius Bryant is, we're kicking the tires on that guy, and it may be for next year. If he can play, we can let Michael Gallup go, is the Jones' philosophy. But I want to point out those guys. And the reason I want to point them out is all of them came back from injury. Michael Gallup the year before, ACL. Terrence Steele, ACL this past year. Jordan Lewis, I think it was his foot. It takes time to come back from these injuries, and unfortunately, they're not ready. And I dare say, even we can put Tony Pollard a little bit in the mix. Now, Tony Pollard is still getting 4.3 yards per touch, but that's passing and running the football. Running the football, he's only 3.9. And again, this is another guy coming back from injury. And I think the Joneses' calculation on guys coming back from injury is too high. That they think that, oh, well, the doctor said he's going to be fine. Yeah, he will be at some point. But when is that point? Is that the point when we start the season? Is that midway through the season? Or is that the following season? Because, quite frankly, Michael Gallup is not much different than he was last year from the injury. And you have to look at it and say, Jalen Tolbert maybe deserves more playing time. And that this Martavius Bryant, that's a message to Michael Gallup. So, if we can get these guys going a little bit better, if we can continue with the maturation of the offense, maybe it just takes some time for the Cowboys to learn this new offense, for everybody to get comfortable, for Brandon Cooks to assimilate, okay? It's not the board collective where they, beam you over and they slap some shit on you, and automatically now, you're 7 or 9 and you're plugging your shit, you know where to plug your shit in. It doesn't work that way when you're a football player. You got to get out on the field. And the thing is with practice ain't game speed. So you need games to actually get there into rhythm. And maybe the Cowboys, boy, I guess I didn't put much fuel in there this time, did I? Because that's just about out. And that the Cowboys will get their rhythm together and continue to get better as the season goes on. Because we're beginning to see some teams that we looked at and said, oh, they're a great team. They're headed for the playoffs. You look at Buffalo now, Buffalo seems to be falling at the wayside. That you're looking at Buffalo and saying, I think their window has closed. I really do. And it looks like, if I were a betting man, I would say that Stephon Diggs next year is going to be wanting to get out of that place. We've seen the chink in the armor. You've seen Josh Allen literally 6 weeks in a row throw an interception. Funny. Ain't nobody talking about that. Ain't nobody talking about. Isn't that kind of amazing? Nobody's talking about that. And the Eagles, well, they keep prodding along. They go through this stretch right now, still in first place. I've got to say that you're the best team in football. So the team gets back on the practice field tomorrow, getting ready for the New York stinking Giants. That's where we are, good people. Whew. That's where we are. Well, it is late. It is, what time is it? It is 11:30. My goodness. I'm going to go in here and take a shower, and I'm going to go to bed. And God willing, I'll wake up tomorrow. Remember, good people and Eagle fans, to tell the people you love them. Because you might not get the chance again, good people. And I love you. And hopefully, we'll all see each other tomorrow. Have a great night.